We are live. It is 2:07 Central Standard Time in the United States, 8:07 BST in the UK. This is the Nomad Tech Project with Sam and Joe.
Hey.
Coming to you live this third day of August 2025. And sorry about last week. I was out of town. I was on vacation. I don't take those very often, especially if leaving to go somewhere. So that's kind of a new thing. So, it's all good.
You sent some lovely pictures, mate. How was it?
It was the trip itself was great. It was apparently it's hot, and I understand that everybody's like, well, it's our time. It's the Atlantic coast. It's South Carolina. It's probably gonna be hot. But even people in Charleston were like, this is not normal. It's usually mid 80s with a breeze, and the humidity's not as bad. It was mid 90s.
Ooh.
And it was hot. And then of course a lot of the things we want to do were outside. Didn't have a lot of shade, so. Yeah, it was warm. It was quite warm. But yeah, I got to do some pretty cool stuff, and went to Charleston a few days, went to Savannah, Georgia a few days. They're kind of equidistant. The drive for those in the UK or in Europe who kind of can't really conceptualize long drives, because I know that's not a thing that maybe people in the UK do. Driving, maybe they take the tunnel, driving to France, and maybe they would drive, maybe to Germany or something like that. The distance from my house to where we stayed at Edostau Island is 845 miles. So, and that's just from basically just west of the Mississippi to the Atlantic seaboard. So that's not even going up towards like Boston and New York, and that's not even going the opposite way towards the West Coast. So just from like mid-central U.S. to the edge is 840 miles. That's a long way. It was a 13-hour drive. Actually, almost 14.
How many times do you stop off when you do that type of drive?
Let's see. When on the way there, probably stop off. Probably every hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
Becky used to stop, and plus, unfortunately, we took the Mustang, and she can't. She doesn't drive the stick real well, so I drove the entire way. So it was one of those things. I would stop. Really, I mean, the car gets good gas mileage. It's a 460 mile range on that car, maybe 430. So I could essentially have done it in 2.5 or 3 stops, but probably stop maybe 4 or 5 times, and then just to stretch. A couple times we stopped at a rest area, which is not really, doesn't have gas or anything. It's just kind of these rest areas, and just to get out of the car, use the restroom, get a drink, stretch your legs, just walk around for 5 or 10 minutes, just kind of move it, and then get back in. And on the way back, I stopped less just because I'm kind of anxious to get home. And I don't want to take too long. So I think we only stopped maybe 3 or 4 times on the way back. Just kind of didn't stop anywhere to eat or anything like that. Just kind of stopped.
Becky have some sleep.
She can't sleep in the car.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, she can't sleep. Obviously, it would be hard for me to sleep as I'm driving.
Yeah,
I don't have full self drive on that car. And anything, if you have full self drive, I don't think you're supposed to sleep.
I don't think you're supposed to. No.
I don't know how it works. I mean, they make it sound like it's like, well, if it's really automated driving, full self drive, then you should be able to eat a sandwich and then not touch the wheel and do your eyebrows or watch a video or take a half an hour nap as you're driving down the road. I don't know. So I again on this trip I did, when you got near cities you saw a lot of Teslas, but on the interstate parts between like the 80 90 miles between cities or whatever, 100 miles, you didn't see many. Didn't see many at all. So yeah, on those long drives, that was the problem we were talking about, Becky and I, on the drive with electric cars is, the range might be 320 miles, which is probably pretty good, right? But then if you don't have a supercharger, even if you do, I think it takes like maybe 15 or 20 minutes to charge back up. So you have to plan that out, in places we were, I didn't see a lot of, in South Carolina, I didn't see a lot of infrastructure for that, especially the way where we drove, and then you got to sit there and wait the half hour. So I guess you should go in there and, get a sandwich or just sit in your car while it's charging. I don't know what people do, but it just seems like for long trips like that, until really the charging speed gets a lot quicker, I don't think I would be using that to go do all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
They don't do power banks for electric cars, do they?
Yeah, or something, So it was a good trip. Just a lot of stuff to see and do. The highlight was Fort Sumter. That was pretty cool. And for those of you in the U.S. You probably know what that is because you've taken a lot of history classes. But in case you don't know, that's where the Civil War started in the United States. That was where it began. The attack on Fort Sumter in April of 1861. And then that was kind of cool. Now, there's a sister fort on the shore. It's called Fort Moultrie. I had been there as a kid in high school. We were going to go to Fort Sumter, but it was closed for renovation, so we never got to go. So this time it was kind of bringing it all back. And you can see Fort Moultrie from the fort. You can see it across the harbor. So it was cool. A lot of good history. But again, walk around the fort was not great because there's no trees. It's out in the middle of the harbor. And it was like 97 degrees. It was very hot on this trip. And of course, the day we left on the way back, we drove the windows down because it was like low 80s on the way back. Whatever. So there you go. I took a lot of pictures. I haven't posted them. We don't post while we're on vacation for kind of like, I don't want people to know we're on vacation, especially with the girls and everybody here. So we wait to post until we got back.
Yeah, understandable. Yeah.
And
you nearly busted your Pixel, I hear.
Oh yeah. So one of the nights, I think it was Monday or Tuesday night. I can't remember. Probably Tuesday night. So we went to the beach. Saw the sunset, which was kind of cool. Actually, it was really nice. And then at one point, there's like on one of the beaches, there was like a set of black rocks, kind of like, and I set my phone like on the rocks, but it wasn't like near the water. I was kind of halfway up the berm. So, it was a pretty good distance. And anyway, so I'm sitting there, I'm just enjoying the stuff, and I put my phone back, and then I got a notification, there's liquid or debris in USB port. And I was like, well, maybe there was some mist. It is salt water because it's the ocean. Yeah. So maybe some mist got in there. I don't know. It definitely water didn't splash on it. I didn't, it was sitting on the rock, sitting there next to me.
Probably got a bit moist, maybe.
Yeah, probably. And then the next day it kept saying, okay, it's clear. And now it's got debris. And then it's clear. It's got debris. It's got clear. It's got debris. So it wouldn't charge. It would just kind of vibrate. And I was like, uh-oh. And then the next day, so this is Wednesday, it would not charge at all. Would not charge at all. And I was like, uh-oh, that's not good. So I went to Walmart and when we were in Charleston, and I bought a wireless charger. Did not pay attention to the fact it was Qi 2. And I got back to the room. I was like, oh, this is magnetic. Nothing. I was like, I had Becky's iPhone. Give me your phone. Nothing. What the hell? And I look in the box and it says Qi 2. And I was like, I thought it supported Qi 2. Guess not. So I went and checked on the forums, website. Sure enough, it doesn't. So that sucked. And so I thought, well, and Becky made a suggestion where she gave me a little brush, one of her little makeup brushes. So I tried to clear out the port and blow it out and still kept doing it all day. Still couldn't charge it. I was like, oh man, this is not good. Because that was the main device for GPS back and forth. And I didn't bring a spare. This is the first time I didn't bring an extra phone. Usually I bring like a spare or make my Duo or something just because I just didn't on this trip because I thought I would need it. An idiot. Anyway, so she had suggested turning the phone off and then trying to charge it that way because it seemed like the phone, like the software of the phone was like in this weird loop. And I tried to, I tried to turn it off and on, I didn't factory reset it because that was the next step. And she said, why don't you just go ahead and turn it off and then charge it? So like I turn the phone off, I plug it in, and it shows like it's charging. And I was like, oh, I was hoping it didn't turn on. I didn't, some phones, if you plug them in, they'll power on. And it didn't. So I woke up about half an hour later just to kind of look at it, and it was going up. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, at least, so that might be my next thing. I have to charge it when I turn the phone off overnight. I can only charge it overnight or get a wireless charger. I was like, oh boy, this is going to suck. And then got up the next morning, charged to 100%. I'm like, okay, at least the phone got charged. Cool, I'm in good shape. And then it never came on again. The notification cleared. So that may be a way if you have that situation. If you have any phone like that that's got near salt water or you got debris in the port, whatever. That's a trick. Maybe it works. So what I did was I just basically turned the phone completely off. It seemed like it charged. It was like a software hang up. It was just kind of the Pixel kept saying it was like clear, but it was not clear. So
some kind of glitch because didn't realize it had gone.
Right, or it just maybe it hadn't. It was pretty clear. That was like 2 days, and I'd blown the port out with compressed air, and I had a little brush to get any debris, and I just thought it was toast. I just thought the thing was hosed. I'm like, oh great, that's not good. And then it worked. So that worked. So hint, Turn off your phone, plug it in, charge up overnight, turn it back on, see if it clears. And if it doesn't, then it's hosed, and then you got to get a new one. So that was a little bit of a scare. So I had 2 days of kind of like, I think I kind of just screwed my phone up.
Plus, you want to trade that pixel in eventually, didn't you?
I thought about it, yeah. And yes, I do have developer options on. So maybe that had something to do with it. Maybe inside developer options, I can turn. I didn't, like I said, that was something that Becky suggested was to turn it off. So that was her call. And I was like, okay. So it worked. So that was the only really tech scare, and everything else was good. And then on Saturday, I drove all the way back straight. It's like 14 hours. Actually, it wasn't terrible.
Tiring though. I can imagine.
Yeah, and then doing some stuff around the house, cutting grass, and trying to get back up to speed. And I have to go back to work tomorrow, which is fine. So that's it. So I see that you were working on something I saw your little video for the moto and the motivator thing. So how's that been so far with the Edge?
Yeah, so my sim went in yesterday. So this is the second full day with it.
Yeah, blue's great, man. And I bet you it feels probably like the texture is probably the same as the Moto G stylus that I had. I bet you it's that vegan leather kind of texture.
It's like a leather.
Yeah,
it almost feels like steel though.
It's really nice. I like the way I like the one it felt, and that blue's really nice. I like that color.
I'm rocking the case obviously because it's not mine. The case comes in the box though, as you probably saw in the unboxing.
Yeah.
And it's color matched, so it's quite nice. But you don't get
it doesn't cover the sides. No. And I'm
a little worried.
No, I kind of like that because I guess if you drop it on the edge of a table, it could nick the side. But I always worry about the corners in the back, right? Because that seems like it covers it. I actually like having the buttons still the phone's buttons themselves available. I like as much of the phone exposed as possible, but covering the corners and obviously the back and stuff in case I do drop it. Because chances are if you drop it, it's going to be on a corner or it's going to be face down or it's going to kind of come off at an angle. It's very rare you drop it on something where it hits the side, and I guess it could. So I guess that's always the risk you run. So how's it been so far as far as screen, and it was easy setup and all that kind of stuff?
Oh yeah, easy setup. Yeah, definitely. Like my Samsung they were reading off each other without a wire as soon as I got on the Wi-Fi. So yeah, it was really good. You've had Moto before. It's a very basic sort of almost stock Android feel, which is quite nice. It has a few times where it slows down a little, but it's not a major problem. It's only very slightly.
But what were you doing when you experienced the slowdowns? What was you like playing a game or just navigate? Like what were you doing?
Nothing major. I think it's just like app failures or it's just weird. And I keep pressing this bloody thing. All different phones have this now. Let me get it right. Where they have like edge panels and stuff. This one's got like a little AI thing. I need to get rid of it in the settings. See here?
Oh yeah.
I keep accidentally pressing that. So many phones have these things now, and they annoy me. That's a me thing rather than a Moto thing. I haven't tested the camera yet, but I need to because I need to send some photos over. I want to send some photos over rather because there's a little Google Drive where all the motivators are sending photos they've taken.
Okay.
Obviously, I've got no history. I haven't got old ones I can post in there, so I need to take new ones. But I'll get out and about with that. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I think it's nice to put my sim in something different.
Oh yeah, for sure. So yeah, now how long do you know? Do they give you like a time frame that you get to keep it or something?
I need to send it back by the 30th of September, so I've got a substantial amount of time with it.
Okay,
probably more than I need, to be honest. I'll tell you one thing I do love about it. It's so light. It literally after having this on the Magic 7 Pro and the 25 Ultra, this is like feels so light.
Oh well, I can especially. I mean, I don't know about the Honor, but I'm sure after the S25 Ultra, that's a pretty significant size phone. So, and
it's only now that I've switched that I notice it. I mean, it feels fine in the hand, the S25 Ultra, right? That's what I'm used to. But when you just move to this, all the 400 Pros similar actually from Honor, they're just so much lighter, and you don't even. Sometimes I don't realize if it's in my pocket or not, and I have to tap to make sure it is still there. I'm like, have I left it on the table? No, it is there.
So that, then it goes to the whole, it seems like, with the S25 Edge and now the Fold 7 and now, that phone, the Motos. But traditionally, Moto phones have been lighter that I've always remember when I had my, when I had the Moto G stylus, and then when I had the Razor, it never felt heavy at all. I mean, it felt like I wouldn't say it's like this phone feels like I don't even know I'm even carrying it. I mean, I always know I'm carrying it, but you can definitely feel it's a lot lighter. And probably because of the material, and then material choice, probably.
Yeah, I think that finish on the back makes it significantly lighter.
And honestly, I'm glad, and I'm happy that they don't have glass in the back. I don't like glass in the back of phones. I mean, I guess it makes it feel more premium, and I guess if you're spending, $1,200, but I like phones like I liked having the Moto G stylus with the vegan leather back. I liked having a phone with the wood grain back, or I don't care for glass. Actually, I'm kind of wish that Samsung, and I know they never will, but I was kind of hoping they would bring back the Active series phones. I love it because I love the Active series. I thought those phones were really pretty slick. My friend that I worked with, she had one until it finally gave up the ghost. The thing was so old. She kept that phone until it literally died. It just could not do anything. It just basically wouldn't charge, and it was slow, and it was, I think it was a Active 6. Might have been a 5. I can't remember. But I mean, she had up until like 3 years ago, and it was just, I mean, she basically drove that thing until the engine blew up on it. And I really liked it because you don't need a case. I just hate having all these phones where, I understand that you have to have a case for them just because if you drop it and crack it, it's gonna just shatter. Or in the back, I mean. And the fact that at least if you've got a phone with a polycarbonate back or a vegan leather, whatever, you at least know the back's not going to crack. Yeah, the screen might crack. You might get a dent. You might get some frame chipping or whatever, but the back is going to be fine. Because I don't know how many people have phones that I think that the phone seems like it's scratched up a little bit. It's fine, but the back is all shattered to hell because they dropped it and didn't have a case on it.
Like most iPhones you see.
Right. Well, they come pre-cracked. Actually, I think when you buy them, I think if you just go to the store and I think you pay like $20. The Genius Bar guy will just drop it on the floor, just make sure it gets nice and cracked sufficiently, and you're like, yeah, you're good to go. I kid. Come on, before all the haters come out, all the iPhone haters come out and say that it's like it's a joke. But if I've seen a lot of people have iPhones with broken, cracked backs, and it's probably because they keep the phones for a while, and it's whatever.
I think it's a mixture of things. I think a lot of iPhone users don't like to have cases. Which is strange because there's loads available to iPhone users. If I had a choice, if I had the guts to, I would have no case, but because all phones are much nicer without the case. In my opinion.
I know, but I then I ran into the problem where I dropped that stylus out on my on my back patio. I was cooking them one day and I dropped it, and I think because the frame is plastic, it didn't absorb the shock of the drop, and it just shattered the corner of the screen. And I didn't drop it from very far, and I was like, yeah. But then I didn't get like all worried because of what I paid for it. Yeah, I wasn't out $1,200. I was like, yeah, that stinks because I really liked using it, but I wasn't like. And then when I had my Razor, it did come in the case, but for some reason, and I don't know why, the front of the back case was fine, but the front case, whenever I would have it on, I couldn't swipe down the toggles. It was like blocking it, and it was just I was like, man, that's annoying. And I tried everything, like just taking my finger, and kind of pushing it up, even pushing like the frame of the case up just a little bit so I can do it, and it would not register that swipe on that cover screen. I could not bring down the toggle.
It's hard to get that front part of foldables and flippables cases right.
It should have been a little thin. I think if the top frame were thinner, it might have been okay. And so then I just stopped using it, and then that one day I dropped it and but I cracked the back corner. It just cracked a little bit, just a little bit.
You've heard of thin-born, haven't you?
I've never had a thin-born case. I need to try one,
haven't you?
Yeah, I should try them.
Do you know what? Ages ago, they offered me a case. This was like when I had the S23 Ultra. And they asked my address and everything and just never sent it. And then I questioned them and they were like, just like, oh, whatever.
Right.
They're like, oh, you didn't get it? Oh, okay. Like, it was so weird.
Yeah.
Well, mine, but
Yeah,
they offered me. I didn't ask them for it. They offered me.
Yeah, I would get a thin bone case. I've looked for. Also a case. You know, I know that everyone's like, oh, but yeah, they kind of. Well, I guess they kind of look like a later case. Really, I mean, but yeah, that woven material looks nice. I think that's the look. I mean, and the funny thing is, when I had that Fold 5, I never used a case on it. I did it for a little while, but I had the Samsung with the pen case, and I got tired of using it. I basically rocked it wwithout a case. I did skin it. Yeah, I did skin it. So I had that, but I didn't have a case on it. And I'm always thinking, man, if I drop this thing, it's gonna. And I never did. That was the funny thing. I never did, even open and or in the closed posture. I never dropped. I don't remember ever dropping my Fold. Maybe it's just luck. I don't know. I've always dropped the phone at least at one point.
Maybe that form factor where it's thinner. Your hand went round
it. It could be, and maybe it's because because it was so expensive. Maybe I thought about it subconsciously more about making sure it was secure in my hand. I don't know because I don't know. But at one point I've always dropped. I mean, I'd like to rock.
Whereas your stylus, she was like, hey.
Yeah, the Pixel. I like to use it without a case because it's such a cool phone, but I don't want to break it. You know, hell, I already almost smoked.
What case do you have?
I don't know. I don't remember. Hold on. Oh, parking stickers. I put them in my coat from when we were parking. I forgot I put them in there. I think it's a Crave. No, I'm sorry. It's oh geez, I can't see it. Caseology. It's a Caseology.
Oh, Caseology. Yeah, they're good.
It's the NanoPop series for Google. Yeah. Dude, I love these Caseologies.
Yeah, NanoPops, they're good.
These are good. Yeah. I've had these before. And they're really, really solid. But I mean, just it's such a cool phone. So I don't know.
I still got mine. Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, it's such a cool.
Same color as you, actually. The hazel.
Yeah, and so it's just like I don't know, man. We're just kind of torn. And then I've got this, and actually I'm gonna switch it out. I get this clear, and this I have no idea. It's one of these like kind of clear. Vegan. Oh God, no! It's one of these like Ugamagi or whatever the fuck. I don't know. It's one of those things that Chinese ones. Yeah, it's Amazon. It was like I think it was like $12. Yeah, it was just nice because at least I can show off the phone. The only problem is this one's a little.
Color's nice.
And it's just a little slick, and I don't like that. And where this got a lot of grip, but obviously, as you can tell, you can't see through it. So switch it out. So I got that. It was a good call. And then I got my driver's license, which I'm not going to show anybody because you don't care. And then I forgot when I had my sticker. See, if everybody doesn't believe me. I went to Savannah. See, went to Savannah. Shows what day I was there. My plate. There it. Oh, the plate. I don't care. It's whatever. And then so went to Savannah. Yeah, it's cool. I think I like Charleston. I think I like Charleston more than Savannah, although Savannah was a bigger city. Savannah, you'd like this, Joe, because apparently all the people do in Savannah is drink and go to bars and eat and shit. That's pretty much, and it's also haunted. Apparently, it's fuck. Apparently, it's haunted as hell.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. I didn't see anybody that looked haunted. Some people walk around and looked a little sketchy. It could have been alcohol. I don't think they were ghosts, but they were definitely.
If they looked sketchy, it probably wasn't alcohol. It's probably something else.
And then we did. And so what we did, we actually went on this tour, and I got to plug it because it's funny. They have a tour. Obviously they have tours in a trolley and stuff like that, driving around talking about historical shit in the city. And it's an old city. I mean, it was founded, 1600s or whatever. So anyway, what was cool is it wasn't a regular tour. It was these two girls. It was called Savannah for Morons, and it's like a comedy. They were like comedy. They're goofing around and shit. And it started off kind of like I didn't know if I was into that shtick. I'm like I don't know. But then it kind of grew on you a little bit, and they were having some fun. It was a good time. They're climbing around, and it was a good time. So if anybody is in the Savannah area, I mean, chances are probably nobody listening to the show is in Savannah or near Savannah or is going to visit there. If you are, check it out. It's called Savannah for Morons. It was actually pretty cool. The Savannah for Morons comedy trolley tour. It was cool. It was these two girls. It was two young, and I found out what they were is they were young ladies. So in South Carolina they have what's called SCAD. It's the South Carolina Arts and Art. It's SCAD. It's like art and design college, but apparently it's pretty huge. And then so they were two from their improv or their theater troupe or whatever. So they were doing comedy. So they were actually students. It was actually pretty good. They did a really good job. And then you stop halfway and you go to a pub and then they let you get a drink. Because in Savannah, in Georgia, you can openly carry alcohol on the streets. There's no open carry law. You just carry booze all the way. Probably explains why everybody likes to go there. Apparently, also, it's a big destination for bridal bachelorette parties and shit like that. They're everywhere. It's all the time. Even on our, and then that we did that, and then we ate something really good. Had flounder. It was pretty nice at a seafood restaurant. And then at night we had like this grave. Wasn't a grave. No, it was just like spooky tour where you walk. It's a walking tour.
Oh, okay.
But the problem is it was so fucking hot. It was like literally 87 degrees.
Even at night,
humidity. Yeah, it was like 70% humidity. I was sitting there on the steps and it was literally like just. I mean, I have never sweated more than 2 hours in nighttime in my entire life than on this.
Did you like dress up at night? So did you like put some trousers on? And
no, I did not put trousers on or anything. But it was cool. It was but apparently, if somebody was murdered back in the 1800s under like crazy, apparently the whole house or the neighborhood becomes haunted. I don't know if that's really how it works, And then we would see. It was pretty cool. The guy who did the tour was really nice, but of course he was like. If you touch this tree, people talk about getting headaches, and then the one said, what he said.
Now you've got a headache. Did you touch that tree?
I did touch. I almost dry humped the tree just because it was kind of fun, but I did not do that. But anyway, what the funny thing was when he said like headaches, or people said that they've gone to some of these houses and they've gone on these tours of the houses that are supposed to be haunted, and then like in some rooms it would get like really cold. I'm like, dude, I will literally cut this tree the fuck down. If I can get anything if it's like all of a sudden a cool chill would come, like a breeze, shit, I'd burn the tree to the ground with all the ghosts, and I would get all the colds. I don't even care anymore. But anyway, it was cool, and it was a good time. And then the last day we had Friday was kind of a free for all day, so we moved back to Charleston, and I went to the USS Yorktown, which is a World War II aircraft carrier they built during World War II. It was cool.
You sent me some pictures of that.
Yeah, that stuff was cool. Like and just walking around like on the hangar deck and then walking down below and seeing some of the other things. Oh boy. It was warm below deck. I'm telling you, it was not.
Oh yeah, I bet.
It was now the only place that was air conditioned in the entire ship was the captain's captain's quarters and his stateroom. And what's funny is you go to the captain of this aircraft carrier, and that's usually a big deal. To be a captain of an aircraft carrier is huge. I mean, you got to be pretty much an admiral at some point. And then, but it's funny how you're sitting there and it's like it's not much nicer. It's still, and I've been on submarines that have captain's quarters, and they're very, very small. Right? They're tiny. It was cool. It was just a lot of planes, and of course, I got and I put the picture in the chat. They had a F-14. So if anybody doesn't know what that is, that's the Top Gun plane. Right, that's Maverick's plane right, from the movie. Yeah, that's the only reason. And then, of course, right next to it, and I think they did this on purpose. So Viper and Jester were flying the smaller aircraft. Those were next to it. It was an A6 Skyhawk, I think is what it's called. It was right next to it on the deck. So it's cool. And you see this deck, and it's like, it's just cool. It's a cool time. You can see all this propeller aircraft, and then, of course, this plane was involved in, like, when they were transitioning to jets. So they had to kind of kick out the landing, the deck. It was cool. It was a neat history. We get a little captain's tour. I got inside a B-25 bomber. Those are the ones that flew over in the days of the war.
The big boys, them.
The bomb. Well, not really. Those are the ones, if you ever, I know from a movie, they were talking about, first of all, they had to get this aircraft to launch off a 500-foot aircraft carrier. So they had to strip it down and then try to teach these guys how to basically launch a bomber off of an aircraft carrier, which is completely insane.
That's crazy, yeah.
You could do it now because the Gerald R. Ford class, I mean, it's like twice the size, like 1,000 feet deck. I mean, you could probably do it. But they were back then, these things needed to have 900 feet of runway and get up to 130 miles an hour before they can take off. And they were trying to go in, you got 500 feet of runway and you got to be up to 45, try to get it to where it actually falls and then kind of. It's crazy. And so you get inside of this thing and it's like a tube. I don't know how 8 guys sat, they had a pilot and the 2 pilots in front and the bombardier. I don't know how 8 people sat in this goddamn thing. Cause it was you could you didn't have to even stretch your arms out. You could touch it like this and you could touch the walls. It's tight. And essentially it was a flying gas cannon because they had to fly it all the way to Tokyo and then they have to try to get to China. And of course, they had to ditch him and shit. It's crazy. So we got to sit in that. It was cool. It's a really good time. So enough about the trip. But yeah, I had a close call. Just careful, folks, if you're around. What I should have done was my phone is I should have put it, we had a bag, should have wrapped it in a towel and stuck it in the bag and not even brought it near the water at all. Because maybe I think it's you can't see it, but I think as water was hitting the rocks, I think it was kind of misting. Even if you can't see the mist, the rocks are clearly not like wet, but kind of like, they're damp, and it's salt water. That shit's corrosive as hell, apparently. So a little scare on my Pixel. Luckily, it seems to be okay. I've been in good shape.
It survived.
And also, I did something I never did, which is I didn't bring a backup phone. I almost always bring my Duo or bring my LG Wing, or I always bring another phone just so. And I just on this trip I go, I'm not going to need it. And then I took it to the ocean and almost destroyed it. So good call there. I was stupid. But anyway,
luck was on your side though. Luck
was on my side. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just the people are now doing the reviews of the Fold 7 because it's been out for a few weeks. I'm thinking about getting one, but I don't know, man. I'm telling you, I think the reason why I'm not is the Pixel software.
You were saying before. Yeah.
I can't get. Oh shit! I'm sorry. Look at this. I mean, Jimmy with the £5. Thanks, you mate.
We really need to drop him the PayPal.
Right. We need to do that. So thanks, Jimmy. I appreciate. We are going to stay hydrated. I did today, but anyway. So happy August, absolutely. So yeah, I don't know. The Fold 7 looks great, but I want to get back in the foldable thing. But I guess I said I was going to wait and see how the Pixel, the new Pixel Fold to 10 Fold Pro or XL or whatever we're going to call it.
So that's due the end of the month, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I think it's worth waiting, mate, because if you're not, I think there is. We spoke about it before. Worries about the battery life. People are saying it's doing well, though. People have got it.
I've heard it adequate. That's what I've heard. I've heard adequate.
Adequate. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's like I guess, but
a lot of money for adequate.
And again, it's one of those. It's I tell people all the time. It really depends on your use case. Like for me, I have an hour drive to work.
Yeah.
45 minutes, 50 minutes. So if I put it on a charger, even if the phone is dead or dying, let's say it's down to 30%, I can usually get up to 70 or 80, and I'm at my desk, and I'm not on my phone a lot at my desk when I'm at work and stuff like that. Now, when I'm at home, maybe use a little bit more, but when I'm at work, I just don't. And then I also at work, I have access to, I plug in my iPhone because I have one of those little things that work gives us. It has a USB-C and a Lightning splitter, so I can plug my work phone in, because it's an iPhone, it's on Lightning, which is nice because I'm hoping at some point, maybe in the next year or two, I'll my bank phone, they'll upgrade me to like a 16 or 16 Pro or something, and I can ditch Lightning altogether because that'd be nice. Nobody in the house. The only person who still has Lightning is Anna. Her phone's a 13 Pro Max, and
oh really?
Yeah, and she's had that for years now, and so. She's the only one. Everybody else has a.
She thinking about upgrading soon, or
yeah, she would like. I think the 13 is getting a little long in the tooth on it, and she uses it quite a bit.
I'd say 3 years is a good sort of.
Yeah, 3 to 4. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, the 17 would be a nice upgrade, won't it? Although the 13 Pro Max was a good phone.
Yeah, it's a great phone, and she's done really well with it. I just want to get her on that way once that happens, I can ditch Light, and then I can't technically because I have my bank phone.
Oh yeah,
which is still. I mean, I'm not going to that's not going to upgrade until whatever. And even if I did, they probably wouldn't give me a 16. They'd probably give me a 15 or something.
15's USB-C as well, though. That's not too bad.
Is it okay?
Yeah,
so
15 and 16, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see, but that's probably not going to happen for another couple of years or so. We'll see. So that would be it. If we got upgrades and really for the use of the house, it wouldn't be any more lighting. So I have chargers at my desk. I have chargers on the way to work in my car.
You have a Key 2 charger now?
I have a Qi 2 charger.
Key 2 charger, yeah.
It just whatever. It's just
You're future proofed.
Sure. I mean, I don't know what's there. It's I can't. It's so dumb. It didn't even occur to me. And I'm just looking at it going, I thought Qi 2 would work. I mean, no.
The best part of the story was that Becky was the phone doctor. Was like, you should do this, Sam.
Yeah. Well, I was just aggravated, and she goes, well, and she goes, well, just turn it off and try to charge it. And I was like, yeah, what is that going to do? It's not going to be.
He was like, you idiot, then it works.
Yeah, and I said, well, I mean, at this point, I'll try anything. I'm out of options. It won't charge. I mean, and it worked, and actually, not only did it work, but it seemed like whatever it needed to do to kind of clear it out. I mean, because it obviously was the software was getting all screwed up. It was saying, oh, it's clear, it's not clear, it's clear, it's not clear, it's clear. Yeah, it was weird. It was like it would say it's okay, it's okay to use, and so enable it, and then it would. And so I plugged it in, on the charger in the car.
Play Samsungs like that.
And then it just was like, no, it's got debris, and it would just go like it was like the vibration that's trying to do, I guess, to clear the port. I don't know if that was what it was. It was just weird, and I tried to reset it. I mean, I tried to turn it off and power it down, and that never seemed to clear it. Put that after, but ever since I did what she said, I listen to her all the time. It was just funny. It's just funny how she got it right. So that was cool.
Yeah. The phone doctor.
The phone doctor. Yeah, she brought it back from the dead. It's okay. Anyway. That's my only hang up is, but then I also know that AT&T, since they didn't carry the 9, they usually, when they stop carrying it, they will not carry. They won't carry successive ones. Although it seems like the Fold 7's sales are, from what's being reported, it's definitely picking up. I mean,
it's doing really well, I think. I haven't seen
that blue color apparently is, and also go figure, Samsung decided, hey, let's try some different colors, and those are the ones that are selling. Do they not pay attention to resale sites? I guess, do they see that all these companies that have the phones that are always more affordable to buy resale or anything are always the black or the white, right? They always, or whatever. But every time you go on like a swap, every time there's like on the OnePlus 13, the green clearly is more sought after. And if you go on their website to even purchase it from OnePlus directly, the green's always out of stock. Because people buy the colors. People want phones that have colors on them. God almighty, it's not hard, folks.
The purple iPhone, that was the flagship color, wasn't it? The purple one. 14 or 15, I can't remember now. Sam, did you see my Wingfest video?
Yeah, it's cool. I just, to me, it's kind of cool because literally that does not look like the UK. That swear to God, that could be anywhere in the United States. That didn't. And I just, to me, it warms my heart because I know that's not a traditionally British thing. Is
I don't know that the music and that was, but I was really impressed with the 400 Pro with how it dealt with everything. Because obviously I was showcasing the cameras on there, and I really like that dual video. I mean, the Moto's got a similar thing, but it's not as good. With the dual video, you've got loads of options. And I really liked the little box with the selfie and then the main camera at the same time. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
It's stuck at 1080 though. You can't do 4K with that. But I thought that was still brilliant.
Yeah.
I was really impressed with it. And the 10x telephoto video I did of my friend, it was in the speed eating competition.
Yeah.
That bit, I thought that video came out really clear as well for 10x.
Yeah, I mean, it was really, really good. I thought the phone held really, really well.
Yeah, I was really quite happy with it.
Yeah, and so, but I'm just saying, I don't know about, I didn't hear the music, I wasn't there, but I mean, just if you look around, that could be anywhere. It was just kind of cool. Yeah. It looked like a really good time, and of course, with me, I would always love any of those different kind of flavors, even stuff I'm like, I'm not sure if that's going to work. But it did work. I mean, it looks like anything.
That's a £700 device, though.
Right.
So it's not flagship; it's upper mid-range, and I thought the results were really good. Steve's in the chat. Hello, Steve.
Hey, Steve. Hello, sir. How are we going? It is going. It is going really well. I'm a little. I tried not to. Oh, and I bought a bucket hat because there was no way I was going to get through that week and not have my face just get just the sun not get completely. Well, because the problem is, I don't know about you, but when I put on sunscreen, I sweat so much, it just like washes off, and I'm constantly applying it, and now I thought, you know what, just get a bucket hat, and I did, and it was great. But so my face got a little, but not too bad. But yeah, it was a good time. The only thing that made it really miserable was the heat. There were a couple of days where it was just absolutely, utterly. It was miserable. Like I was just staying there, and I was just like, dude, I don't even want to go outside, and I don't even want to mess with it. It was so bad. And on that Friday, when we got back from the trip to the Yorktown, and I got back, and everybody there going to the beach, I'm like, dude, if I go anywhere there was sunlight or heat, I swear to God, my brain's gonna melt. I don't want to do anything that even requires being outside. So we'll see.
This is a good comment. There's an oversaturation of Z Fold 7 content. The person to look out for is Scary Literal. He's the best foldable guy on YouTube.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Shane Craig is and he's got a pretty. The channel's growing. It looks like it's really doing good. And Shane does a great job. But I think I think with any phone now it's become. It depends on the phone. I think when it comes to Samsung devices, you're definitely going to get, it's just going to be hammered and hammered and hammered. I agree with this. I think there's yeah. I mean, it's definitely, and I guess this is this chicken and egg thing, right? So okay, there's too much content on YouTube, right? It's only 1%, so it's targeted. But if you don't talk about it, then that people don't know that phone really exists. I get it.
The thing I will say though, Sam, is this is the biggest upgrade Samsung's had on the foldable for a long time. So yeah, I can understand why it's getting the saturation.
Right. Well, also for the negative too, the fact that the battery, that seems to be another source of contention. The fact, the stylus support went and the battery didn't go up. But really, I think the phone, we always complain about Samsung this is just iterative. They're just refinements. They're not really okay. This is an upgraded device. I mean, from the 6, first of all, thinness, size, like weight. The front screens now actually looks like a phone, right? It's more usable. So they did the things. So they got to tell people about it. But yeah, I mean, if nobody knows it's there, but there might be people in this 1% who are looking at that, or maybe they're in the flip market and they go, hey, that looks pretty cool. I've had Samsung phones, or I'm an iPhone user and I see these foldables out and about, and maybe I'll give it a try and see if it's any good. I mean, so I think you can't. It's definitely oversaturated because I think that's what it is. But again, like anything, it's going to die off, right? And somebody might do a 6-month. Somebody might do a year in review kind of thing. But I think this time around, you're right, Joe. I think the fact that it's a little bit different now and it's a little bit more upgraded and it's got some features that Samsung is definitely improving. It's not just another Z Fold 6S or Plus, right? It's definitely more of a phone. I think that's pretty good. And it's kind of good and bad, right? I see the saturation but it's also targeted. I mean, really, people who are buying the Fold probably are coming from a prior Fold, right? They had a Fold 4, they had a Fold 5 or a Fold 6, or, I don't know. I would like to know how many people who are getting the Fold have never owned a foldable before. Like, this was finally the time they're like, okay, it's 7 refined. It looks more like a phone. It's not, because really it addresses, it's not too thick to use, right? The screen is not so, like almost like a television remote clicker, right? It's not that. So it looks actually more like a proper device when closed. And and the problem is people don't know about the Pixel Fold, and they don't really know about anything else. And of course, if you want to talk about folds from other countries, like any, Honor or forget it, you might as well throw that out the window. It's just not going to work in the US. Obviously, in other countries like in the UK, they have more exposure to
Michael makes a good point though as well. It's about the brand recognition, isn't it? Like, if Samsung's putting the fold out into people's hands, Samsung's in people's eyes and they're thinking Samsung. So yeah, it's a good way to do it.
And even if I agree. Even if they're going in there, they look at the foldable, but this might be the time where they get on board. Like, oh, okay, well, yeah, the Fold's good. I don't know if I'm really feeling that yet. I don't know how it's going to work, but hey, while I'm here, I'm really thinking Samsung seems like they're doing pretty good, and I just want to switch it up. Maybe it's time. I've had budget motos, or I've had a Pixel, or I've had phones that were just not more kind of maybe mid range or budget phones, and I want to take a chance on an S26 or the FE, right, kind of thing.
On that point as well, I think it's a similar thing that Honor's doing, bringing their foldable to more markets. It's not just about selling the foldable; it's about bringing the brand awareness out there. Although the V5 really does excite me.
Yeah. I mean, it's and I think it's just one of those things where I'm glad the coverage is there, and I think if you were going to do a foldable, this is probably the time to give it a try. I think it's been, at least from Samsung, it's been refined, right? The crease has been refined. It's thinner. It's lighter. It's more phone-ish when it's closed. So if you're going to be on the fence, now obviously the durability is still a question because it is a foldable phone. And there are going to be ones, I saw somebody post it, where the screen cracked. You're going to have failures, folks. Yep. There just are. If you have your phone the first day and you open it up or you close it and the screen breaks, that's going to happen. Most of the time, and most people, when they're doing any kind of failure tests, I think they say 3% is an acceptable failure rate for a lot of these. That's 3 out of 100 phones. And if you sell 50,000, you're going to have some failures, and then people are going to be pissed off. And I get it. I mean, it sucks spending $2,000 and you take your phone out in the first day, Hey, but you know what? You're well within the Samsung warranty period. You're well within if you got it from a carrier, I'm sure. And here's the thing: if you are a person who is getting a phone like this and you don't get carrier insurance or some kind of like third party insurance on a phone to cover drops or spills, or then I know it costs a little bit more money, but when you're dealing with a phone that expensive, that is less durable than a slab phone. You should look for some insurance options. That way you're maybe only out a couple $100.
That is a bit of an issue because a lot of places won't insure them. We've seen that as well.
It's
difficult to insure a foldable device. You have to really look at the details in the policies.
Or you have to look at there might be a significant deductible, right? It might be $500 deductible or something.
Yeah.
So I just saying, but if you do have a fold, and if you had it out the first couple of days and it breaks, you can clearly take it back and show that it was broken. Now, I mean, there may be problems where they say, hey, you broke it on purpose or whatever, or it's not covered, or whatever. They just, it's something that you're going to deal with anything, right? But I think just because somebody posted on YouTube or Instagram, or, there's a Twix post, it's like, oh, I had my phone for 24 hours. I opened it up 3 times and it shattered, or the screen failed. Yeah, okay, it sucks, but I've had foldables for a long time. I've had Duos and I have other phones and stuff.
Steve's brought up a good question, right? Well, he hasn't brought up this question, but it's a question I got for you on the back of what Steve said. Do you feel comfortable buying a second-hand foldable? Bear in mind it's savings, but
I would say would I buy like a OnePlus Open? Yeah, I probably would.
Yeah, OnePlus Open.
I probably would, or even a fold. A 9 Pro Fold, a Pixel Fold.
I prefer to know the user that's had it before. I know that sounds weird.
Like I said, it's just like a car, right? I mean, it's we're talking about if somebody maintains the car. Obviously, if you bought a used car for somebody and they're dog shit in the engine, driving like a maniac, or they're doing oil changes every 15 to 25,000 miles, or never do an oil change, or never. Yeah, clearly you got to be careful with that. But it depends on the phone. Like I know with the Pixel Fold, you can get them for pretty inexpensive, like $400, the older one, but they had some issues, right? That was the first gen product. I don't know. It really depends. If it depends.
They've moved on a lot. They've moved on a lot now.
And it depends. Now, if the person says that I use this as my daily driver for 2 years and open, close, and they were using it all the time, probably not. Just because I know that, every time it opens and closes, it's one more tink in the armor. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's a deal breaker. It really, like I said, it just depends on looking at the condition of the phone, and maybe the person using it really wasn't using it as a daily driver. Maybe they've only had it for a couple of months and they use it a little bit and they're like, foldable. Like I've seen flips, like Z flips and stuff online, and people say they bought it and they had it for a couple of weeks. They're like, not my thing. Yeah. I only used it for a month or two. In that case, I would absolutely buy one used because you're going to save, a little bit of money. But if it's been used a year and a half daily driven, if I got a really good deal on it, probably. Yeah. If not, or if, like you said, if you knew who the seller was, if you knew somebody like me or you or one of our chats, you trust the seller that they're actually taking good care of their devices.
Perhaps if it's refurbed and it's been looked over. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So
Steve, as mentioned, classified. Obviously, in the UK, we've got that.
Yeah, PSC classifieds. Always check that out. That's always a good resource. And also, check that out too. But and just do due diligence. And they have the secondhand market. You can get a Z Fold for about $600. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is, again, if I bought a used device and spent like $1,400 and then it broke, I'd be a lot more like, But if I bought a Pixel Fold for like $400 or $450 and I had it for 3 or 4 months or 6 months and it failed, I would be irritated. I'd be upset about it, but I wouldn't be like as upset as I would be because I realized I bought it. Yeah, because I bought it used and it's it's got some miles on it, and also I only spent $400 on it, right? So it's not that.
When you think about that, right, it does make it seem silly to buy the 7 for full price.
Really, unless you're upgrading. If you got a 3 or a 4,
and you're doing a trade-in, maybe,
or even a 5, and you can get a decent trade, sure, go for it.
I think the trade-ins you guys get. The UK don't get the trade-ins you guys get. You get really good trade-ins.
Yeah, and that's a shame because I mean it's harder in the UK. But then the flip side is you also get access to a whole lot more phones that have way different price ranges than we do.
I think because the second-hand market's bigger in the US, obviously.
Right.
I think it must be.
Yeah, and so yeah, I agree. And then the flipables are more exciting just because there's actually getting priced aggressively. Yeah, $1.99. Yeah, exactly. You can get pretty good deals on. And again, I think to me the flip is great because it turns into a form factor that everybody's used to. The foldable turns into a tablet form factor that people just they do not. I don't think they can really get their head around using that as a like I will never use that, or I don't need a tablet. I already have an iPad, or I already have a tablet. And how will that work into their daily life? Like you have to carry this folding thing and then it folds.
So I'm talking about second hand, right? Though, Flip 6 over Flip 7 FE. Definitely get the Flip 6 second hand rather than.
Oh God, yeah, absolutely, yep. Oh hey,
Ted and Steve now.
Oh man, the old PSC crew. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. Welcome, guys. Yeah. So the whole crew. We got it's a big old party up in here, and it's great having Steve and Ted both and everything else. So, but yeah, again, you can save a lot of money, and really at this point, if you can get a phone, especially some of these phones, like if you get a Pixel 8, you still have good support. You're going to get good updates. It's going to be supported for a while. And you can get Pixel 8s for cheap. Or if you even want to even get more of a bargain, go for the 8A or even a 7A, right? You can get it for darn near nothing. And it's going to serve most people really well. And you're spending, what, $125 to $150 maybe? And it's got the same. Now, you don't have all the updated features because, they're obviously for the Pixel 9s. But if you wanted to have a Pixel experience and don't want to drop a lot of coin, that's the kind of phone. If I had like a Pixel 8A or 7A, I wouldn't even put a case on it. I would just use it. And if I drove it, who cares? $150. Okay, I'll get another one. Obviously, I wouldn't throw it down, but if I dropped it, I wouldn't feel so completely devastated.
So I've had a lot of influx of people come in because they've got 3G devices, right? And 3G is being turned off in the UK this year. Right. The government's said all networks have to turn it off. And some people are panicking because they think they have to go to a smartphone. But you don't, and that's why I did that Nokia 3210 video,
right?
Because there is still phones out there for people that don't want to go smartphone,
right?
And then phone or dumb phone, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, exactly, or just like an old school phone. And I think there's a lot of nostalgia in there. Speaking of nostalgia, the other I know Michael Fisher posted XDA did a really good video. And again, this is not the first video I've seen about the rise and demise of Windows Phone. I think we've all kind of analyzed it, and I don't know why. But it's about a 45-minute video on XDA. I actually found it to be very, none of it was like, oh, I didn't know that. As a Windows Phone kind of enthusiast, I kind of knew a lot of that stuff. But it's a really good. He does it in a really good way. The graphics are great. It's a real well done video. Check that out. I won't put a link in the show. Just you can figure it out. Most of the people here are fans of Michael Fisher, and if not, should be. Check him out. And then, and the other things, it was really cool. And again, I hate watching those videos. I really always like to watch those because I always find it to be, nostalgic. And, obviously I have a soft spot for Windows Phone, but it just always bothers me because like, man, I really just, more than anything, it would have been nice to have a third option, right? Because there are a lot of, and I tell people, and I still to this day, say if Windows Phone, if I could get even like 70% of what was going, if I can get my banking apps and a couple other things on the apps I use, I would use a Windows Phone literally today, and I would not be using an Android device. Or I would have an Android device and maybe on daily drive the Windows Phone.
You dual wield.
I would do wield. Yeah, I just like the way Windows Phone was set up, and I realized that a lot of people didn't like the live tiles. They did not like the way it's set up, and then I did. I liked the live tiles. I like having where it had up, if you got an email real quick, it came up. Now you have that with notifications. I get that. But it was just kind of nice because you didn't need to get notifications necessarily on the way Windows Phone was set up. I just liked it. And then speaking of that, so check that out by XDA if you want to look that up. It's a really cool video. It was posted a few days ago. The other thing I saw was Windows Central put out the actual, and they got hands on with Andromeda devices. Android device. It was the Andromeda for the original Windows Phone Andromeda on a Surface Duo. It's completely wild. And I don't know how they got it from. I guess either somebody in China had some of the prototype units, whatever, and they were able to get their hands on them. And show some videos and just looking at the OS and kind of looking how it was. And also I noticed on one of the pictures, so it was the original, it was a Duo, but it had like just this one circular camera cutout. But on the front of the device, it had a dimple where it would lay flat. And it was just enough where, because obviously with the Surface Duo 2, you get the big island. You can't really do that because there's no way to do it. But what was cool was on the other one, this prototype one, it was a little almost looked like an iPhone XR, kind of that kind of size. And then on the front of the Duo, it had a little dimple in the top right.
Just slot in.
So just it would have a little, you have a little bit of a camera, but it would actually still completely close flat, because that's the one thing that I hate about the Duo 2. That gap, it never really bothered me the first time I had it, but now it bothers me tremendously, and I don't know why. Because I had one before and I used that as my daily driver, and it never bothered me. But man, now when I use it,
is it because you had the Fold 5 for so long? Do you think it's because of that?
No, I think it's just because I don't know why it bothers me now. Because again, I never liked it, but it never bugged me. But now it like totally bugs me. That's why I keep going back to my just OG Duo.
You got a fan in the chat there, Sam.
Yeah, I know. Oh, hey, I didn't see that. I'm sorry.
Very nice.
Oh man, I appreciate that.
For Sam.
I mean, yeah, I try. My wife would probably agree with you.
There's not enough room for more Sams in this world.
I was going to say, because I mean, you need probably as many Sams, at least as far as I try to be a good-hearted person. I try to just kind of have some fun with this, and that's why I like doing the show.
Yeah, you do, mate.
Let's not get crazy, because we have too many of me's. I don't know, and we have it's gonna be an interesting world. A is Sam's wife. No, it's not. No, she's a fan, but I don't think she would say anything like that. She does love me very much. And
Sam's second account, he quickly signed
right.
in.
Yeah, no, that's very gracious of you. Thank you, I appreciate that.
That's
and
very nice.
Yeah, we try to have a good time and enjoy the chats about stuff. Again, like I said, we do this just because.
Cheers, Jimmy.
Yeah, it's all good. So we need more Joe. We need more Joe, because Joe's more laid back, and yeah, he's gonna give. And there you go, Mr. Litchfield. There you go. That is actually her. So there you go. She likes to jump in every once in a while and that kind of thing. So, more Joe, and actually more coffee. Just like that, right? More Joe and more coffee, and yes,
a cup of Joe. Yeah,
dropping. Oh yeah, I have a. She's usually in the house when I do that, when I do my shows, and sometimes she'll yell from the background, like she'll see something. If she's in the room, she will definitely yell out, and if not, I will get a text message. She goes, "Why are you talking about that? Or you're an idiot, or you're goofy, or whatever. Don't forget to mention this," or something like that. She'll always kind of help me out, kind of keeps me on the rails a little bit. So, yeah, we had a really good time on the trip, and lots of good phones. Like obviously we got the Google stuff coming out. I mean, it's been already leaked to hell, so I mean, whatever. But
that's
Google for you. Yeah, well, I mean, it's like it's one of those things. But yeah, we have the Windows Phone video is really great. It's about 45 minutes. So I would watch that, even if you're just kind of moderately interested in it. Again, nothing groundbreaking that I don't already know, but it's just a shame. I really wish that Windows Phone would have been viable, and I really wish Microsoft would have done a little better with the Duo, because I do think there could be market for those kinds of devices for.
Yeah, I think so.
For people who didn't want a foldable, who really kind of wanted that kind of developing segment, and really more of a productivity tool. Yeah, he's getting the full Sam. Yeah, he is, man. It's gonna he's just gonna let it go. Mine's getting a little. I definitely in the summertime I don't grow it Joe's length. It's just too hot. But usually around
in the wintertime last week, but it didn't end up happening. So hopefully,
when wintertime comes, I kind of let it grow. That's about as long as I like 1 year. I let it just the entire. I think I started like October, and I went all the way to like almost like I think maybe February or March, and just let it. And what's weird is it doesn't grow straight. It grows kind of like the hair. If I find a picture, I'll post it sometime. But it doesn't. It kind of has a small
beard oil,
term.
Sam. Beard oil.
Yeah, but then, you know what stinks about the beard oils? I gotta take it's like I don't put product in my hair like you do. It just takes too much time. I just want to get up, get in.
Beard oil doesn't take long. You just go like that and.
Yeah, but I don't know. I do have beard oil, and I even had like the beer. It was like balm. It was almost like
yeah.
It wasn't like soap. It was like I don't know. I don't know. It smelled good though. I did admit it did smell nice. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But now it's almost completely. It's
Just
almost
quickly,
completely gray.
Sam, just quickly going back to Samsung. Do the new watches appeal to you at all? The classic, the 8 Classic.
No, I still have the other Samsung watch, and I mean, I have a Pixel watch. I mean, watches for me are weird because I don't know about you, but do you like use a lot of the apps? I don't use them like ever. Maybe the alarm, maybe some of the tracking ones, but I don't really use any, like, it has access to an app store, right? But I never use my watch to do anything other than just like look at the time like a regular watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe some other watchy kind of things like an alarm. I mean, I will, and I have tried, and I have taken calls on it, which is kind of handy because sometimes I've
done that a lot.
Anna will call and I'll be like, the phone's upstairs. I'm like, oh crap, I'll just answer it. It works okay.
Yeah, it's handy for that.
The problem is it's the charging. Like I have to charge it every day.
That's my thing. Like I was hoping to see an improvement on the 8 Classic, but what I can tell, it's not really any better. So I'll keep the 6 Classic. Well, my better watch is the OnePlus 2 watch. Yeah,
and that one and that's why I almost want to stick with like the Mi Band because it does all those things, right? It first of all you get like 10
That's
days.
what you want, yeah.
Yeah, and that's I wish Pixel would make a Pixel Band. Please, for the love of God, make a Pixel Band. Seriously, I think people now that you could say Fitbit, I'm talking actual Pixel branded wearable like that, where it just has essentially a Mi Band device, right? It has 10 or 12 days, and you can do all that. And because for a person like me, that does all the things. It does the tracking. I don't do sleep tracking.
The Pixel watch is quite nice, the bigger one.
Yeah. So no, I mean the watches I see them, they look great, but I'm not in the market for a watch. I've still got my Pixel watch, which works fine. I still have my 6 Classic, which is in the drawer right now because I kind of go back and forth on them. So
see, I wear it for a while, and then like you say, I can't bother to charge it, so I just put it on the side, and it stays there for a week or two. Then I'll finally get around to charging it again and wear it a little bit. But yeah, it is frustrating, really frustrating.
Yeah, that's all. And then the problem is when I would charge it would be in the evening, but that's when I want it on because sometimes I use my watch
to sleep track. So
yeah, and I don't, but what I use it for is it vibrates it's my alarm because that's what it's nice is it vibrates my wrist. It doesn't wake Pecky up.
Yeah,
it keeps
That's
so it's kind of nice. But the problem is if I'm charging it, it's sitting on my drawer, and I've had it before where I try to put it like face down, so at least it would maybe vibrate, and I'd hear the vibration or I'd hear the buzzing, and I don't. And so that's kind of where I am. Oh yeah, the Moto Watch Fit, 16 days battery. Hell yeah, that's fun.
I like the green strap on that as well.
It
looks like an Apple Watch, like a square face.
Yeah, and that's right. I mean, there you go. Like that's even 16 days is incredible, but like I'd be okay with like a week. Like and also what I did like about because it's such a smaller battery and such a small display, I think when I charged up the my Mi Band, I think it took 40 minutes maybe. So and you can charge for 40 minutes. You take it off and take a shower, take it off, set it down, charge it up, go do something else, and you come back and bam, you got another week. It's Pixel. Google, please, Pixel Band. You can take all the credit for it. You won't even give my idea. I don't even care.
Me, Sam, that you want to go all Google, but you want foldable. I think that's what you're going.
No, I really like the Moto stuff. I didn't even think about the Moto Watch Fit that Ted suggested.
It's nice.
That's actually,
I've seen it.
I mean, I don't care about ecosystem because it all seems to work okay. And for me, I'm not an ecosystem guy, but the issue with the foldable is obviously they're not gonna make a flip, and Google's probably not gonna make a band, so that's fine. It's just the Google software is so compelling for me because really it's the call stuff, right? It's the screening, it's hold for me.
You get that to a degree with Samsung though, don't you?
Yeah, but I have some friends. My buddy was with me. I think he has an S24. I think S24 Ultra. I'm not sure. But he was complaining about getting the calls. I'm like, every time I get one, I just hit screen call, blue button, screen call, and it literally stops everything because if it's a legitimate caller, they'll say, "Hey, I'm calling about so and so and such and such."
Yeah, Samsung has that. You push text call, and
right.
Your assistant picks it up.
Right. So I don't know. It's just with Google, it seems, but also just all the other things like the Add Me is pretty cool. I use that on the trip, which is kind of nice. You know, the live transcribed, right? It just, but the thing I don't like about the Pixel is the lack of like real customization. It's kind of just, it sucks. It's just kind of meh. Yeah, it's just not, and I don't expect them to change anything.
But Samsung's got a lot of options,
right? And I don't mind the persistent search bar. A lot that literally hacks a lot of people off, and then also at the top you can't change those. That doesn't bother me because I use that Google search bar all the time.
Yeah,
all the time. Would I like it to maybe resize it, maybe put it to a corner? Yeah, that's cool. I could probably do that, but I think and Octopi launcher.
I have tried this. I've never tried it.
Octopi, yeah, actually I did. It's really good. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I need to give it a go.
I go back and forth on it, but yeah, Ted's right. I do like Octopi, and also I saw that Niagara launcher has some theming options now, and I do have Niagara. I actually have Niagara on my wing. That's what I use. Although on LG, it gets third-party launchers get kind of dodgy on LG.
Niagara, is that
or LG.
Like a list?
Yeah, it's just a list. Dude, I love Niagara, and I know Michael Fisher does too. And I actually was using it before he ever suggested it, but I agree with him on his approach. I think I like Niagara launcher. Actually, one time I found a launcher that it's Unix commands. It's just like a Unix terminal. Oh, it's so cool. So cool, man. It's just a little bit of hassle because then you got to type stuff. You got to do command line shit. It's like a CLI. It's for a person that works in IT like me, it's kind of fun to use. Not really practical all the time, you know, especially if you're like on the road, you can't really just touch a button and go. I mean, you could. It's a lot of fun to mess with. But yeah, Octopi is pretty good. Niagara I like. And I've used it on other phones too. So
I always use the stock whatever's on there.
Yeah, I just like and I do like Microsoft Launcher. I've always been a big fan of that too. I've used Microsoft Launcher.
What surprise there?
Yeah, as far as you know, as far as to me those are the big two. Is well, Nova and Microsoft Launcher were kind of the big two, well known and well mostly installed third party launchers. But I guess like you're right, back in the day, you know, things that have changed a little bit, right? You used to have, you know, rooting phones, right? And then custom ROMs and all that stuff. And back in the HTC days, man, I always ran a custom ROM on my HTC when I made. It was Android Revolution. That was my jam. I loved and they had sense-based ROMs and they were so much fun. Yeah, you had to fight with them sometimes and updating them sucked and then, you know, flashing them. And I've had boot loop problems and fought through that, but nothing was cooler back in the day than just taking that. I remember having one where I put the Google Play Edition on my one M7. It was so good. I love that. I miss those kinds of days, you know. But now the launch, you know, One UI is really good. You know, Moto UI is really good. I mean, you don't really have. I mean, you don't have LG UX. I wasn't a big fan of LG's UI. I wish Sense was still around because I did like Sense. HTC Sense was kind of fun back in the day. But yeah, we just don't have those anymore. Yeah, everybody now the first party launcher that comes with the phones are good for most people. A lot of people don't really put third party launchers on very well, or if there are, they're folks like me and Ted and Steve, old school guys that were back in the day using phones and liking having some options and playing around and just having some different interface options. I do like those, and I don't need cheap viewers on Stream Boo.
Don't give it any time then. Come on, man.
No, I don't care. I just put it up there. I'm just glad that I just think it's great that we actually get these. That makes me feel like we've come up. We've made it. We're getting trolled by bots. We've made it.
Oh God.
That's okay. But anyway, one black coffee every morning does it. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. One black coffee just gets you up to date, gets the plumbing going. If you know, right?
Are you talking about instant or are you talking about from a machine?
Oh, fucking instant. What are you, Die Loco? You fucking instant. No, you can't. Don't ever drink instant coffee. Ever. Just do yourself a favor. Live your life. If you want to be that guy, but if you want coffee, you cannot do that little. Dude, no.
I'm sorry, I do sometimes.
Well, that's fine. And
it's quite common in the UK.
Well, I mean, teas. Do you have instant tea in the UK? Do they have that? Is that even a thing? Do they have instant tea?
You know, you can get coffee bags.
Oh, you can. Oh, that's kind of cool.
Just like tea bags. You can get coffee bags.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm asking like as a question, generally to anybody from the UK, do they have instant tea? I guess they can't. Right. I mean, you have instant coffee, right? So, I mean, I guess tea is a thing.
Tea needs to brew. You can't have it.
So does coffee. And instant coffee is a sacrilege, and you should change your habits. Instant coffee is very popular over here. Yeah. So you know what else is not? You know what's not popular? AC apparently in the UK is not popular. So
it's true.
I'm doing two things. Lipton's iced tea. Okay, there you go. Iced tea. Okay,
iced tea is nice. Cool. Yeah.
A tea bag is instant. That is true because you're seeping it, right? I get it. So two things, right? Ditch instant coffee because it's not good. I don't care where you are, and get AC in your house. It's 2025. We can do this, folks. I know I get it.
Do you know, it's building regs. That's why they don't put it in even new buildings.
Okay, that's fine. Well, whoever handles big building regulations in the UK, we need to find who those people are, humans, whoever those humans are, and tell them, hey, dog, this AC thing. Again, it's you got AC in your cars, right? In the UK, they have cars, right? In the UK, you drive them and stuff. They have AC in the car, right? So clearly somebody figured out there that you should probably put AC in a car. Right. I'm just saying.
Ted's very right. We should probably just call ourselves Nomad Project. We shouldn't have the tech in there anymore.
Right. We just talk about whatever. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, but I'm just saying. So no instant coffee. Actually, matter of fact, don't even use a drip. Get a French press or a pour over. I know it takes a little bit extra time, but I'm telling you, man. And just be careful though. It'll change your life and it'll ruin you. Then you won't be able to do it. And then so that's where I'm at right now. So maybe I should have stayed on the instant coffee life and maybe I was okay. So we'll see. But no instant coffee.
Everywhere.
Right, coffee. Yeah. And if you really want to get crazy, go look up a Kyoto for like a Kyoto like drip. Yeah, that'll really freak you out.
You said a cup of Joe. That's coffee, isn't it?
Yes. That's in the UK, that's what Joe is what they call actually I believe it started in the Navy is what they would call cup. Captain always has a cup of Joe, coffee. So we should call it that. No, I'm saying it's not much tech. And I know it's I would like to talk always tech, and maybe if I wasn't coming off a holiday, I said holiday because vacation doesn't seem to land as the same as if I say holiday.
You're British
maybe
now,
we actually I'm trying. It's seeping in, man. I actually said that to somebody today. I'm on holiday, and they looked at me like I was crazy. Hey, what brings you to South Carolina? I said I'm on holiday. I was like, as soon as I said it, I was like, they're not good. And these are people like, what you mean? You on holiday? What does that mean, sugar? I was like, I'm on vacation. Sorry. Oh, well, really? Well, why'd you? I don't know. It just the terms are starting to kind of seep in, and I'll use those. I said quid to a dude the other day. Like, I don't know. It just came out. It was weird. Yeah. So, I mean, it's whatever. But at the end of the day, we're getting close to the tech. But yeah, I mean, again, check out Shane Scary If Literal. Check him out if you're wanting to know about foldables, flip anything foldable. He's
a long-term use.
And he'll do, and Steve mentioned, he'll like live that life. He's not just the guy who uses the phone for a couple of weeks during a review period. He ditches it. He's on to the next thing. Shane, and then he posted a picture. I think it was today. I think it was on Threads. It's just literally a row of foldables. There's like a dozen in this picture, and it's great. So if you're looking to know about foldables from a person who walks the walk and talks the talk, and you really can talk accurately to it. Matter of fact, I was just through Shane's neck of the woods the other day because I was going through Tennessee, and I almost hit him up and say, "Hey, mate, I'm coming through, man. I'll say hi." But I didn't. I don't know.
He's a nice fellow. He probably would.
He's a fantastic guy. I like. Yeah. I've been a fan of Shane's from when he first started the channel. I'm one of the few channels I actually subscribe to on YouTube, and I love it. And when I'm coming to the UK, I would like to, but it won't be in like the summer. I'd like to come in when it's a little cooler. And not just because there's no air conditioning. It's just because I was in South Carolina in the end of July. It was miserable. I don't want to be in a situation where I want to walk around and I don't want it to be 35 degrees Celsius outside and like constant. Well, the only thing I do is the only thing in the UK is I don't think it's sunny like for 2 weeks in a row, right? There's always rain or cloud cover. If it's overcast, I'm cool with that. It's just the sun it was just oppressively hot. But yeah, I'd like to come to the UK. It'd be a lot of fun. I would have a good time, I think. You mean literal instant coffee? Oh, dude, K-Cups, don't even get me started. I mean, Keurigs are okay. I have one at my desk because all my colleagues at work, like to do all that. I honestly bought the Keurig for them. I've never drank a coffee copy out of the thing. It's been on my desk for a year.
Have you had Bovril yet?
I have not.
I can't have beef tea yet.
Bovril seems to be a fall winter thing. I don't really know if it really works.
It is a winter thing, yeah, definitely.
I will definitely as it gets cooler in that September October timeframe. I'm going to try to see if I can get some of the because I want to try it. It looks and actually I want to try it at a football match here in St. Louis. I want to actually go and drink it there, and then people say, "What are you drinking?" And I'll say, "This is what everybody drinks."
They played Aston Villa, didn't they? Recently?
Yeah, I didn't see what happened. Did they get their ass kicked? I didn't see what happened.
I didn't check it out. I need to have a look.
Hold on a second. Let's see. Lewis. I saw that they played him. I think they played him on Wednesday. So let me see. I'm thinking, oh mate, Aston Villa's coming over here, and I don't know if Aston Villa is awesome.
They're not a bad side.
They look pretty good. They look pretty decent, but I don't know. Let's see. I go back.
But it's pre-season friendly, so it's not. It's just more about getting the players fit.
Where is that? I don't know what's that. Where is it at?
Does anybody got your local team bookmarked? Oh my God, Sam.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see.
Terrible
schedule. Okay, here we go. Schedule. I can probably see it there. I don't know. Okay. What day was it? It was July. It's not listed on this website. Oh, well, I guess it was a friendly. Maybe they didn't. I don't see it listed.
Yeah, it is a friendly.
It was, but it should have been right after the Minnesota game. They played Minnesota and lost, and then it goes to August 9th. What the hell? Well, if anybody knows, I'll have to look it up. I'm not sure, but I saw it. Yeah, so
pretty quickly.
I'm sure Aston Villa will list it on their website because they probably like, hey, we went over to the United States and kicked these Major League Soccer guys' butt.
So I think we're coming to the end of the show, really, Sam, aren't we?
I think so.
It's been a good hour and 16 minutes.
Yeah, it's a good time. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm still on the fence about the Fold 7. I'm not saying no.
You just want to compare to the Pixel Fold, don't you? That's what
I would like to actually get hands on with the Pixel 10 and I'd like to see it. And then because I'm telling you, let's just put it this way: if I had the Fold 7 and I see the change, they have made some changes to the Fold 10. I don't think that right now with the software and everything, I don't really think there's. Oh, they only beat it by a goal. Okay, well then I thought they would get thrashed. I mean, I'd say it was not because it's a Premier and Aston Villa is obviously in the Premiership, right? Premier League. But the fact that St. Louis City just this year they are not good. They are on the struggle bus big time.
Well, Nashville drew to Villa.
Okay, yeah, Nashville's a better team. Oh,
cheers,
thanks, Steve. Thanks for popping in, sir. Thank you. I appreciate you as always, and thanks so much for all of the support over all this time for our show. Even though we don't talk all the tech, we talk Bovril and South Carolina and instant coffee, which is crazy, right? So, but yeah, like I said, I think all things considered, I think between Pixel Fold 10 and Fold 7 the Fold 7, I think right now I would go Pixel all the way, just because of software. Although I like Samsung. I mean, I've had Samsung devices, and I do like them. They're solid. Anybody who hates on Samsung is just a straight hater. Same thing. Reason why people hate on iPhone. I think you just basically realize that for me, I don't like the OS that much. I like using Android. But if you think that you say they're just hot garbage, I just think you're just kind of I don't think that's not the look. I don't think so. Tiny battery in the Fold 7. My Fold battery is awful now, so I think Honor 5 or Vivo X Fold. I don't know. I'd like to try it. I don't know. I like the Honor. I think the reason why I like the Honor more is just because to me it's a spiritual successor to Huawei, and me, I have a soft spot for Huawei. So, but yeah, I think the Vivo X Fold 5 is probably pretty good. I'm curious how much those are going to be. Are they just as expensive in the UK as like the Fold 7, like the Honor V5 and the Fold? Are they a little less?
A tiny bit less, not massively less though. I'm talking probably 100, 150 quid difference.
But I mean, so I think I don't, and Simon, I don't think that's a bad idea. I would, and if you do happen to get the Honor V5 or the Vivo X Fold 5, and you want to talk about it or just tell us your story about it, you don't have to be on the show or anything like that, obviously. But I mean, I'd like to know, because for a person that can never really get those, even if I could buy them, I could gray market them. They won't work on AT&T, so I'm kind of stuck like Chuck. But I'd like to check those out, and we'll see. And again, Moto, maybe think about a fold. Probably not ever going to happen.
Before we do go,
I know you did. Did you ever talk to Lee about that? Like, did you ever mention to anybody at Moto about that?
What about getting the? Yeah.
See if there was if there's any appetite for a foldable at Moto. I don't think there probably is, but I don't know. Maybe
he would not tell us anything. Like we asked if there's going to be an Edge 60 Ultra, and he's like, I can't tell you. He wouldn't open up to anything like that. Yeah.
I get it. Well, he can't. I get it. I guess it'd just be nice. We tried. But like, it's one of those things where it's like Moto Fold, a Pixel Flip, a Pixel Band. Like, there's all these little kind of like the OEMs that I like don't have exactly what I want. Like, dude, if Moto made a Fold, I would buy that thing like immediately.
I'm gonna get the Razer Ultra on the next time round. So when I give this back.
You get the Razer.
Yeah, that's what I was told, but we'll see.
That's cool. But like I said, it's one of those things where we'll see how it goes. But I think we're starting to now get into the late summer, the early fall. That cycle is going to start to hit. We're going to start seeing.
Yeah, there's a lot coming now.
But yeah, Fold 7. I think from the last time we talked about it, I thought it was like definitely going to go in and really hit it. I'm kind of like, I'm like 50-50 now. I was like, I'd really, again, I think I need to stay with my original plan, which is see what the Pixel 10 looks like, and then kind of see where that lives, and then maybe still go fold, because I do want to get back to a foldable. I think that's something I miss. I love my Pixel. Don't get me wrong, but I'm about that foldable life. For like you, it's like for me, the foldable's like I really miss.
I miss the V3, and I can't wait for the V5. I'm very much on the foldable life as well.
Twice I like a week.
We can't do it because our times. So this time during the week, you're at work.
Right. So I mean, I can't do 2:00 now. If I worked from home, and maybe we could do like. The problem is I would look at like a 3:30, 4:00 time, but that puts Joe at like a 10 p.m. during a weekday with the family.
Yeah, it's doable. I don't think there's enough demand for us to be doing it twice a week. I don't know.
Right. I don't think so. I think there's a few people who would like us to do it twice a week. And that's not, we looked at a couple things. We looked at maybe a Saturday show, and then maybe we looked at, it's not a no, but it's right now, it just doesn't work for us as far as but maybe, at some point in the future, if we can working in and we do some test runs and it works out pretty good. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. It's not a no. I appreciate that, because I think he's saying, hey, we need more Sam and Joe is what we need.
Yeah.
I don't know why anybody in their right mind would need more Sam and Joe. I think it's crazy. I think you're a little bit, I think I love that energy. I think it's misplaced because we're psychos. Like, definitely me. Joe's a nice. Joe's a little bit. He's just a low key, low grade, kind of subdued psycho. Yeah. My psycho is kind of right up in your face, where you can touch it and look at it and point and go, look at this guy, right? And I get. I think this is the reason why I think a lot of people are still almost not foldable. If you could get, especially people like Joe and Matt, like all those people from that group of folks, if the cameras could be 95% there on foldables and their regular slab phones, I think that and the battery size, I think those are the last two things that are people who are camera centric folks who buy phones for camera purposes. That's probably, especially because remember, if you have a foldable, you have a lot more postures, right? If you can use the front facing camera, like on the Fold, did you see what they were doing? They'd turn that fold around and they have the selfie cam. You don't even have to, and actually, I don't know if it's true, but the guy from GSM Arena, I forgot the guy's name. He does all the videos. I can't remember his name for some reason. He said that the inner display, the one they changed from the covered one, is actually better than the actual cover screen selfie camera.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what he says. Now, a lot of people kind of give him a little bit of shit. Will, that's right. His name is Will. Nice guy. He seemed like a nice chap. He said inner screen unfolded is actually, that camera is better, has a different field of vision, but that it's better than the actual selfie cam on the cover screen, which I thought was interesting, because I and they're usually pretty camera focused. They usually do a lot of good work with it. Now, you may disagree with their overall posture on it, but I think they do a good job. And so he was saying the actual inside, he's actually happy that that's no longer kind of a covered display, whatever. And I agree. We're so used to having pinhole cameras now. I don't even see them anymore. If you can find a way to cover it and it have the same quality, sure. But I think he made the comment. I watched the video today. He made the comment that the inner screen is actually better than the cover screen selfie. So
I don't think we'll never get flagships on the foldables. I don't think, because one, the sensor sizes, you're then they're trying to get the foldables thinner. Then you get a big sensor size, so it's going to be a big camera bump. That's one reason. And the other thing is the cost. The costs, I think.
Right. I don't even think it's really the cost. I think a lot of people who are maybe camera centric would pay a couple extra $100 for a better camera that performs better. I think it just comes to a physical limitation, right? If you put that camera, now you've got a foldable that's, instead of 8.9 millimeters thick, now it's 14 millimeters folded. Okay, that's too much. And then people are not going to want to lug around that big clunky thing. Because also, if you have that much thickness, you're going to have that much more weight. I think it's just the limitation of the hardware is just not going to let you do it. So if you're into the foldables, it's for people like me who can use that form factor, who are used to multitasking and multi-screening, and also are okay with the camera maybe being 75% as good as a slab phone. Yeah. For people like Joe and for people like other folks, that's not acceptable to them. And I think that's the barrier. I think the problem is it can't be resolved. It's never going to be resolved. You're just going to have to be one of those people. You're just going to have to either one, have a secondary phone for taking pictures, which kind of defeats the whole purpose, or you're going to have to be okay with the fact that maybe the cameras are handicapped a bit, but it's good enough where you can justify the use of the phone. I don't think that's going to happen for most folks. I think camera-centric people are going to stay away from it.
Sam, camera-centric people should get a camera.
Well, I'm not going to say that because that's shots fired over here.
Quickly, I don't know if you knew. There's another podcast I do called Camera Creations. Mm-hmm. You'll find it on PodHub UK, or you can find it on Ted Salmon's website. We go every other week.
Okay.
Sometimes we skip. It's very new. It's in the pilot period. But if you're into cameras and photography, check us out.
Absolutely. Yeah, check that. Well, I'll put it, actually, if Joe gives me the information, I will put it in the show notes for this show.
There's been 3 episodes so far.
Yeah, well, I'll put it in the show notes. And I love not only do I love listening about tech, I love talking about tech. And I love all this stuff. Like me, I like watching videos. Like I spent 45 minutes last night watching a video about a fucking platform that's completely dead. It's never coming back because I was nostalgic about it. I knew 99% of what was going to be talked about because I know the history of Windows Phone, the Steve Ballmer thing, and how. And I spent 45 minutes of my life watching a video that I actually knew all the information about and also kind of knew. So, I get it. So we're obsessed too. That's why we do the show. And I also, it's just fun to do it with Joe. I will tell you, what's funny is, and Ted and Steve can kind of attest this real quickly, is it takes a lot to do this over a long period of time. I see a lot of some of my favorite podcasts. They kind of come and go. But I thoroughly enjoy, and I look forward to, we're not going anywhere. So don't get that. If anything, we're going to continue to do this, but I thoroughly look forward to and enjoy these interactions with Joe. I mean, it's just,
as do I.
we've never met each other in person, clearly, because we have an ocean between us, and I don't travel to Europe very often. When he comes to the United States, he goes to Hawaii because he's bougie like that, right? But it's okay. If they want to do the Snapdragon Forum in St. Louis, we will totally hook up and meet each other and have lunch.
As if I get invited, that'd be a fine thing.
But at the end of the day, it's like we just like this is our outlet. We like doing this just because. But also, I like the fact that we don't have to. And our folks, the Tech Disruptors, they do a great job. If you want just like, here's stuff on the internet, and you want to talk about these articles, that's what a lot of people do, and that's great. we don't want to do that, and we're never going to do that. I may reference an article or reference a video or something like that, but I'm not going to sit here and digest, hey, did you see this week this article came out from this? That's not what we do, and we're not going to
casual.
Almost to the point of being ridiculously casual, like almost to the point of suckage, right? But the fact that we have no script and we just kind of ebb into it. And like I said, for some people, and here's the thing I always tell people, if you're really tech focused and we get to a point in the show where we're just talking about vacations and football and stuff that isn't tech related and you want to dip, no sweat off our back. Now, the problem is we don't put any tags. I tried to, that was a pain in the ass trying to put like time tags.
Okay.
Nope. Too much. I know there's apps that do it. I'm not messing with that. It's just, dude, this is a low production thing.
Yeah.
But I just like doing it. But I honestly, we've done this for years now. And every day, even today, I've had a little bit of a headache, a low grade headache all day. I just got back off holiday, but there was no way I wasn't going to do the show. And I love all the comments. Between Simon and Jimmy and A and everybody, and then Steve and Ted kind of popping in and dropping in on us, because I look up to those guys. Like those are guys have done this podcasting for a decade or more. It's crazy. They're prolific and they're talented and they're great. They may not think so. I think they are. And when I see people like Steve Litchfield and Ted Salmon do what they do, I've listened to them and been a fan of them for as many years. I've followed Steve and them from the Windows Phone days. I think they're fantastic. And
I didn't, but I wish I did.
They're fantastic. And so the fact that those people come in our show, even if they drop in for a few minutes just to say hi or whatever, it's I can't explain it to you. It's not fangirling. It's not being like it's swooning. It's just it's people who you look up to and you've watched and who are content creators, and they pop in for a few minutes. It's just, to me, it's just like they could be doing anything else of their day, and they're spending a few minutes with us.
I called Ted a legend. I called Ted a legend, Sam. And he didn't accept it. I said, you got to accept your flowers. You are a legend.
Right. Yeah. And again, it's to me, that means because really, we only have so much time on this earth, and we have many other things we could be doing with our day. But the fact that people come and they look forward to this, and then if they miss the live stream, they actually download the show and listen either on the bus, whatever, and they have to listen. And I'm thinking to myself, I can't listen to myself for more than 20 minutes before I go, why do anybody listen to our shit? This is crazy to me. And the fact that, I don't know if everybody feels that way, but we kind of do it. Me and Joe kind of joke at each other about it. We're like, the fact that people come on, it's just funny to me. So it's very nice. It's very nice to see Ted and Steve come in and just spend a few minutes and listen to the show. And also having Ted on, and we're going to take credit for the fact that the first time Ted was ever on actual camera on a podcast was this show. Yes. You heard it here first, because God love Ted. He decided to do it because he's super gracious and
he was a natural as well.
Yeah, it worked out perfectly. It's kind of cool. And I really appreciate that. So we don't have many things we can kind of hold like we're the thing. That I'm gonna run with that. I'm gonna run all the way. I'm gonna take that ball. I'm going all the way off the pitch into the tunnel, out the damn stadium, into the parking lot with it, because that's what I'm gonna do. So anyway. Last quick thing from Vonnegut. Disappointed to find out Sam's like, we on lock. Yeah, that sucks. I saw that report that they basically, again, it's for custom ROMs. I get it, but the fact that OEM unlocking should be a feature that they should just let you have. I understand that maybe not anybody uses it, but you know how Samsung is. If they think that nobody's using it, they're just going to yank it. I don't think anybody else is going to do that, but yeah, I think that's kind of not cool. That sucks. Basically, the only people who really going to OEM unlock or whoever going to use dev options are probably the 10% of people who may listen to the show and be kind of like power users or tech dorks or whatever. Most people don't even know OEM unlocking or developer unlocking is a thing. Like, they have no idea it didn't exist. So that is kind of uncool. They could have just left it in there. I get it, but it still sucks. But I 100% agree with you. And thank you so much for coming on. Thinking about maybe telling your friends, follow the show, but make sure you show up every Sunday and put some questions out there and put some comments in like this. Great comments. We really like that engagement, because we kind of like feed off that and that kind of thing. Definitely. So Well, anyway, this has been an hour and a half show, so I guess we're making up for the fact we missed. Yeah, so if we think about it over like 2 weeks, it's really about 45 minutes. Yeah, it's fine. And you know what? You're going to turn this thing off, and you probably did 45 minutes ago because you don't care. You got your hour in. You're like, I'm done with these people. These people are insane. And Sam's nuts. And I still my cheese balls. Although, no, they're I got to throw them away. They're kind of rough. They're stale.
I was going to say, like,
they're not good. Anyway, so that's where we're going to end the show. So thank you very much for tuning in. Again, we'll put the comments for Joe's. Check out that other podcast he's doing. That's pretty cool. I'm glad he's kind of getting involved. Yep, we're going to get involved in that. I think it's fantastic. So do that. Again, enjoy your tech. Have a good week. Hopefully you can stay cool. We're in the August time frame. So if you don't like heat, this might be the dog. We gotta get through this month, and maybe we'll home free. We get like a week and a half of fall, and then it'll snow, and then everything is going to suck again. We'll complain about the fact that it's cold because that's what we do with weather. Do you happen to know a Genius Bar podcast? Oh, I have no idea. Genius Bar podcast. Oh, I didn't even know. Oh, I guess I'm assuming it's an Apple thing, right? I don't. I wasn't aware of the show, and then, but yeah, a lot of shows drop and come. They go and they drop. They do a couple of years, and then they drop. We've been doing this for a long time, and we're going to keep doing it because we love doing it.
It's a commitment, but we love it.
Joe just shows up, and he's just like, this fucking guy. Ridiculous. So
I love it.
Anyways, we do too. So for myself and for Joe, thanks for tuning in. Again, check the show out. You can download it. Tell your friends. Listen to it on a if you're on a bus or a subway station, listen on speaker. Let everybody hear it. Okay. Yeah, you might get thrown off. Yeah, you know what? You can walk to work. It's fine. But you know what? Sometimes sacrifices must be made for the greater good, and you'll feel better about yourself until you get to work and you're all sweaty, and then you're going to say, I can't believe I let that happen. So it's cool. So we're myself for Joe. Thank you so much. Again, keep checking out Screen On Time, YT. Check out Joe's stuff. He's doing moto stuff. He's going to be doing honor stuff. He's got pictures. It's a good channel. Check him out. Also, we're going to put those in the show. And then we're going to sign off for the rest of the day. We'll be back next Sunday. Guest wise, no, it's kind of lean. We've reached out to some folks. I haven't heard anything, so we may have to scramble a guest or two. We'll figure out what's going on.
We'll figure something out. Yeah,
we'll figure something out. But right now, just realize I don't have anybody lined up. We'll see how it goes. Unfortunately, the people we have had on before are busy. I have reached out to. I would like to get Shane Craig on again because that'd be great. Because last time he's been on, it's been a while. And Joe was a little couple pints in. We need to rectify that because that got funny. I'll never forget that show. First of all, for having Shane on, for the fact that Joe was to the pub, and that was probably the greatest first 15 minutes of any podcast in the history of this earth. I thought it was great.
It's not my finest moment at all.
Joe's very embarrassed about it, but you know what? It made for a great podcast because it just was it was so good. That's what you get here, folks. It's free. We're not professionals, and sometimes it's going to get weird. And that day it got hella weird. So anyway, we appreciate you guys coming in, downloading, and listening afterwards. Come back next Sunday. We'll put some more goodness in your ears and hopefully make your day a little brighter, your week a little brighter, because that's what we try to do here at the Nomad Tech Project with Sam and Joe. So for myself, for Joe, thanks for coming in. We love you guys. Take care of yourself. Stay cool because it's hot, right? We love you. Don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. And skin your shit. Streamskin.co.uk. Check them out. They got skins, all that stuff. If you got the Fold 7, I'm sure they're on top of it.
Yeah, they have, yeah.
Check them out. They'll ship it worldwide. If you're in Antarctica, you're probably fucked. But if you're in the U.S., you can get it. If the Royal Mail decides to ship it out, you might sit at a warehouse in the UK for 4 weeks. But hey, you know what? That's not their fault. They're good folks. They'll get it out. Too sweet, right? Royal Mail sucks. No offense.
Sometimes.
U.S. Postal Service not that good either. So anyway, for myself, for Joe, thank you so much. Signing off. Love you guys. See you next Sunday. And enjoy your week. And we love you. Take care, everybody. See you next week.
Bye-bye.